Good evening, everybody, and welcome to everyone on my page right now, being online. I'll be waiting for any person to say hello and to give me a feedback that the audio is working well and everything is going well. Actually, the idea of this video came on my mind while I was relaxing today, because as you know, tomorrow is the last day of the year 2020. And maybe when I mentioned the title of this video, The Bright Side of 2020, some people talked to me on the private and they said, oh, there is no any bright side. There is no any bright side of 2020. But I told them, no, of course, there must be some, bright side, because any disaster we have in our life, we suffer, of course. Maybe we experience a very tough time, but actually, after you pass this dilemma or this disaster, you will realize that you learned new lessons from this disaster. Hey, good evening. Good evening, Maha. Welcome to you. Welcome to you, my dear. So, guys, back to what I was saying. Actually, any disaster in our life has, don't say bright side, but we can say lesson that we can gain from this problem. Actually, the year 2020, we all suffered. I'm not here talking about myself only. I'm talking about my society here in my country, maybe the people around the world. Maybe in Egypt, thanks for God, the disaster wasn't very big. But, of course, we lost some people. We lost hundreds of people died, of course. Some people, were infected, and every day we follow the statement from the Ministry of Housing and Health, and they say that, about over 1,300 people were infected every day. So, of course, there was a big dark side of this year, and especially this, pandemic. You can say it was the biggest disaster we had in this year. And as I said in another video before, another live before, that, these days we are experiencing a new a new series of, or you can say a new son of the COVID. We have COVID 2020 these days. It was 19 last year, but now it's 2020, and who knows what's coming after that? We don't know. But actually, as I said, there was a dark side. And personally, my dark side in that year was about being 4 months without work. I know it was very tough. I was, almost out of money. I borrowed money, and my business was off. Also, most people were afraid to go to take courses, of course, and this is my business. But actually, that moment, it was very tough. I suffered, of course. Maybe I didn't feel like going live and making videos with my followers here in this page, or maybe to spread the positivity as I always do. And if you follow my videos before, I always try hard to spread the positivity, the optimism to every person. We should be positive to our life. I think it's not okay to be pessimistic from time to time, because if you are really a religious person and you really follow your religion, that means you will be optimistic and you will never lose hope that the good is coming, the abundance is coming. Okay. And one of the darkest side of this year, of course, being stuck at home. As you know, stuck at home was very bad. If you remember, the curfew started at, I think, 7 p.m. and lasted until maybe 4 or 5 the next morning. So during the day, you just have to go to work, but there is no gathering, no open, parks, no open movies, no open restaurants or clubs or whatever. So I think being stuck at home was, a very big bad thing in that year. And I still remember how bored I was that year, okay? But actually, as I told you guys, that is the bad side or the dark side of the year. And we all agree for that. But actually, there are some bright side of that year too. This bright side depending on one thing. We should know something, guys. If you believe it, you will never get so angry. You will never feel so sorry about things because any disaster happens to us or maybe happens to our world, to our life, to our, whenever you lose thing or if you would like to gain something or to get something but you don't get it, it's a disaster. We all feel sad for that moment, okay? But actually, there is a lesson behind that. This is what I'm going to tell you about today. Actually, the bright side of the year 2020, number one is learning that nothing is stable in this life. We all love our things. We all love our possessions. We all love our family, our friends. We love our work. We love everything around us. We love it. But nothing is stable because one day we will leave everything and go to another world after death. Okay? So, of course, that was the first lesson of this year, learning that nothing is stable. Everything is changeable. Even the people you like, even the people you love, okay? Maybe they love you today, but maybe after a while, maybe their mindset changes or maybe, they stop loving you and they change it to another side. So I think that the first lesson I gained from this year is learning that nothing is stable and I should get ready for that. I should get ready that nothing is going to continue with me. It doesn't gonna be, stay with me all the time. This is what I mean. Thank you, Basmala, and good evening. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. So that was the first thing I learned. So what do you think, guys? What do you think, Maha? What do you think, Basmala, about the first thing? Do you believe in that? Do you believe that we learned this lesson from this year, that nothing is stable in this life, even your job? Because for me, I never thought about that. I never thought that I stay for 1 week without work or 2 weeks without work. I never thought about that. I never thought about, that if I would like to go to pray at the mosque that I can't because all the mosques are closed. So it was a very big disaster. Okay? But actually, that can make balance in our minds. When you know that nothing is gonna be stable in our life, that can make balance. That can let you think positively and say, I shouldn't have been very angry for losing things, because everything's go and come and go. This is the life, okay? Yeah, Maha, you said I learned to be grateful for our daily boring routine. Yeah, yeah. I believe in that too. Really, wallahi, we missed our boring routine for every day. Yes, me too. By the way, staying for 4 months and a half, I think, at home. I missed everything. I missed being with my students. I missed going to the center and dealing with people. 24 hours staying at home. Not 24 hours exactly, because I went sometime to buy things, maybe to walk around, but everything is closed and all the streets are dark. And Maha, I still remember the last day of Ramadan when I went to Hatta Raml area, I think. I found it was closed and so dark. It was, It was so strange for me because since I was a kid, I used to go to this place and to have fun, to walk. All the people were gathering, all the stores were open. You know, a lot of people are having fun, but it was everything closed. Everything was closed and dark. So it was strange. It was a shock for me, by the way. Um, Basmala also said, I learned many lessons this year and it was a year full of lessons and lessons. Yeah, sure. Sure, Basmala, I think you are true. You went to many places. Great. You went to many places, Basmala, but how? I think there was a curfew. You know the word curfew? Hazr. There was a curfew and I think it was very hard to everybody to go. Maybe in the morning, but maybe at night and in the evening, everything was closed down. But it's okay. Yes, we did that. Yes, Maha, you are true. Ramadan was so sad this year. There was no prayer, even Eid prayer. Yeah. Don't remind me of the Eid prayer. It was a disaster for me. You know, the first time to pray Eid at home, lonely. Oh my God, it was a great shock for me. Wallah Azim. You know, Eid al-Fitr really was very sad, very sad, very dark. You know, I remember when I went outside the first day with my friend Ayman, the streets were very dark and, you know, the life was so bad. Actually, I hated myself. But maybe we didn't get the lesson during this time. But after the time passed, we learned that nothing is going to be stable. And that we should be changeable to the life. Actually, if you are changeable, you must be flexible, not changeable, by the way. I mean flexible. You should be flexible to any situation you could experience in your life. We should be flexible. In bad situation, you should adapt to this. You should adapt with this bad situation or with good situation. But you should put in mind that nothing is stable. That's what I mean. Basmala says places like mini schools for pottery contests because I took the first country seat. I'm trying to be optimistic. Yes, Basmala, that's fantastic. By the way, I know you are very successful one, and I really appreciate your work. By the way, you are a fantastic one. So we can say this year for you, Basmala, was a successful year. I think you succeeded in that respect. Maha said, yeah, being flexible these days is a must. Yeah, I think so. It's a must. Okay, so that was the first thing I learned from this year, and I consider it a bright side, not a dark side, to gain lessons from that. After that, number 2, getting closer to family. Ayman says, sorry, I wasn't here for some reasons, so could you give me a quick view? Yeah, Ayman, actually, I'm talking about the bright side of the year 2020, as you know, from the title. And I mentioned some, you know, some dark side of the year. But actually, guys, I don't like, please, for me and for you, I advise myself and advise you also, I think it's not a good idea to keep talking about the negativity about what happened during this year. I know, many people will read my title of this video and say, the bright side of 2020. You are kidding. There is no any bright side. Actually, no. Any disaster, we can gain a lesson. We can get a lesson from any disaster. Maybe during this disaster, we don't see anything. We see all the life is black, is dark, and everything is locked. Okay, but actually, after the disaster passed, maybe our mind will be different. Our mindset, our thinking will be different. Okay, that's what I mean. So, Ayman, I mentioned the bright side of that year was learning that nothing is stable. Everything might go suddenly for no reason. We lost going to pray in the mosque. We lost meeting each other a lot, okay, because there was a curfew. We lost going to open places, especially at night, because, you know, all the streets were empty, okay, and we can't go because, as you know, the police locked down everything. So we should put, if you are going to put a plan for yourself, you should put plan A, B, and C, and you should be a proactive person, not to be a reactive. That's what I always say. Proactive, it means you draw the bad scenario in your mind about your plan. For example, you put a plan. You would like to achieve any goal, you put the plan for it. For example, you should put many scenarios for that. Okay, you should include one of the bad scenarios. Maybe in the past, all the people put plans for their future, and as you know, the life was a bit stable. But when the pandemic came, I think everything changed. Everything. Basmala says, I was depressed and sad at times due to the coronavirus and the curfew. Yes, Basmala, we too, wallahi, yeah. We were so depressed and disappointed. I was sitting with Ayman the other day and said, I think the life is finishing. It's about to be over. Okay? And if you remember, Ayman, I showed you a text in the book, in the general English book, okay? Especially for, I think, for level 9 or 10, I think. There was a text about a day in your life in the year 2020. They said that the technology will be everything will be automated by technology, even the cooking will be by a robot, and maybe, if you would like to talk to any stranger, you can talk without a translator, because everything they mentioned in this text already appeared, okay? And they said you don't have to go to work again. We can say that partially happened, okay? Yes, Ayman, yes, okay, yes, you remember, that's true, that partially happened. And for me, since then, I teach most of my lessons online, by the way, as they mentioned in the text. So again, the first lesson we got from the coronavirus was learning that nothing is stable. And number two, that we got from this pandemic also, getting closer to family. Yeah, if you remember before that, we were lost. I think we didn't keep our friendship. We didn't keep, the relationship with our family. What I mean exactly, during that time when there wasn't a job or wasn't work or something, we were free. So we had a time to communicate with family. Also, the communication played a great role. So during that time, you could find a lot of people talked to each other using the applications on, for example, on the internet, okay, like videos. And I still remember the internet connection was so bad because it was very crowded. There was a traffic. There was a traffic in the internet, and I hardly communicated with my followers, with my family, using these techniques. But actually, we get closer. We got closer to family. I think we got closer. Maybe why I say that, because we felt the value of everything. You know what I mean, guys? When you are stuck at home, no work, everything is closed around you, that moment you feel the value of everything. We felt the value of praying at the mosque. We felt the value of being closer to our family. We felt the value, as Maha says, we felt the value of the boring routine day. Yes, maybe we think it's boring, it's routine, but actually we felt its value. We missed it, okay, because it has a value in our life. So getting closer to family, realizing the value of every aspect of our life, also was, one of the bright side of that year. We felt also the value of our possessions. For example, for me, my car is a bit old, but actually I like it so much. I remember these days, or those days, I remember that every day I wanted to clean it because I had nothing to do. I used to clean it. I used to try to change something in its shape, okay, to to add some decoration or something, because I felt its value. It was it was my friend back then. Uh, so we loved our possession. We felt the value, how precious these possessions for us, the things we own in our life. That's what I mean. Basmala says, we had a great time to learn many things, read a number of books, meet with the family, and memorize part of the Quran. Wow, Basmala, fantastic. You are so hardworking and excellent girl, wallahi. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, guys, so we felt the value of family members, we felt the value of possessions, we felt the value of work and the boring routine day. We felt its value, okay? Also, we felt the value of spirituality. Spirituality, it means maybe we believe in different gods. Maybe Muslims, they believe in God, maybe Christian, maybe, Jewish, maybe Buddhism, and the other people, okay? We all have beliefs to think about, and that gives us spirituality. I remember that moment, okay? I started to read Quran every day, but before that I didn't, okay? Because you knew that maybe the future is not clear for you. Who knows, maybe we will meet our God, soon. So I think what we learned from this moment, that we need to be closer to God, to read Quran, to get closer by prayer, to ask Allah to remove this pandemic, okay? So I think that was a great lesson also we got from this year. Ayman says, after you finish this point, I need to ask you a question, which is, are you with the people who believes it's a conspiracy in order to help their needs? Yeah, I think it's a conspiracy. I think, I believe, to be honest, I believe that this virus was created in a laboratory. I believe in that. Maybe some evidence, say that. This is what my heart goes to. Actually, I think it's not a natural thing. It's a conspiracy. Yeah, Basmala, thank you very much. Thank you. And what about you, Ayman? Do you think it's a conspiracy too, like me, or do you think it's a natural, like any other pandemic happened in the history? As you know, in the history, there were many pandemic, and you can say the number of dead people were much bigger than who died these days, okay? But actually, I still believe it's a conspiracy, but I want to know your opinion. And also I want to know your opinion, Maha, please. Do you think it's a conspiracy? Is it artificial virus or natural virus? Basmala says, also the coronavirus has brought us closer to God. Yeah, that's correct, Basmala. That's what I said, really. Yeah, that's fantastic. Ayman says, I hope if it's a conspiracy. But why hope, Ayman? I don't get your point, please. Maybe if it's natural, maybe, and we pray hard to God, maybe Allah will, carry it away. But if it's a conspiracy, that means this year we have COVID-20, and next year we will have COVID-21, after that COVID-22, if it's a conspiracy. So what's your point of view? I don't understand. Okay, so again, let me recap quickly what I said about the bright side. Till now, learning that nothing is stable, and we should be proactive people. We should put bad scenarios in our life and try to adapt with these bad scenarios. That's what I say, number one. Number two, we got closer to family. We realized the value of every aspect of our life, like family, possessions, work, spirituality. We got closer to God, okay? And also health. Okay, I will talk about health, but after reading some comments. Maha says, totally agree, it's a conspiracy. It came in a special way, yeah, or suspicious way. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's correct, Maha. I also believe in that. I also believe in that. Okay, guys, we also realized the value of our health, by the way. Ayman says, cause if there is a conspiracy, that means it has an end. But if not, so who knows what's gonna happen? Yes, I understand you. So you mean if we found out that it's a conspiracy, that we can catch the country or catch the gang that created this coronavirus and we can kill them? That way, I think the coronavirus will be finished. Yeah, I understand you. Yeah, it's a good point of view also, and they should respect that. So, back to the values that we got from this year, after family, possession, work, spirituality, we also, you know, felt and realized the value of our health. And let me tell you something. Actually, all my life, I didn't care about going on a diet at all and losing weight. I didn't care about that at all. Okay? But subhanAllah, I don't know what happened. This year, I lost 10 kilos. Oh my God. 10 kilos? It was a dream for me, by the way. Okay? Of course, I stopped eating many things to have this result. I stopped eating fats. Fats was, the biggest reason for gaining weight for me. Also, eating a lot of rice. Now you can say I eat the half amount of rice that I used to eat before. That way, helped my body to lose a bit weight, 10 kilo. And I'm still thinking about losing more, okay? So I think we realize the value of our health. We realize the value that we should improve our health by eating healthy food, by trying to take vitamins, try to avoid, the harmful food. Okay, like as I said, greasy food is one of the harmful food, of course. Greasy, the food which has a lot of oil, a lot of margarine. Okay, so for me it was a good point because I stayed home. I took care of my health. I used to work out sometime, do some exercises at home. Not so much, to be honest, but I took the step. Because when you start simple, it's a good way to start, even if you are simple. Okay, but not to start at all, it's not a good idea. Maybe I am simple. I do not a lot workout. Maybe you can say 10 push ups, I think, is enough for me every day. Also, I do planks for 25 seconds, I think, or maybe 30 seconds. The plank, I think it's a very hard exercise, but I do it, okay? I think if coronavirus wasn't in here, I think I would never lose this amount of kilos. Okay, so Ayman says 10 kilos. Yeah, it's a dream for all of us, Mr. Teacher. Yeah. Yes, Ayman. Oh, Allah, yeah. That was. I'll tell you what. In the past, my weight was about 135, I think, 135. But now I am 125. So 10 kilos is fantastic. Basmala, Basmala, thank you, Maha. You say great, mister. Basmala says, yes, we have to eat healthy food and pay attention to all of our health, and we have awareness in order to be healthy with God's protection. Yeah, Basmala, thank you very much. Thank you, my dear. You're saying correct. Maha also says, I started to have fitness routine during the quarantine to stay healthy, but I stopped lately. Oh my God. So why is a setback? Why is a setback, Maha? I think you should go on, please. But to be honest, I also set back for a while. These days, maybe because it's winter. Because as you know, in winter, we feel very hungry so quickly. My eating attitude, I think it's different from summer. Nowadays, I eat a little more. Okay, I want to say, for example, in the summer I used to take half loaf of a bread, but now I think I take one bread. So I have to go back again because maybe I will restore the 10 kilos. It will be a disaster for me again. So inshallah, I will I will take care of my health again after that. So Maha, you say you are being lazy after started work. Yeah, I know, but maybe Maha, listen. If you have 2 days as a weekend, you can invest your health or invest your body in these 2 days. You can do workout during these days. And also before you go in the morning to work, you can do some stretches. Some stretches doesn't, they will not take a lot of time. Just 10 minutes, I think, will do something for you. And of course, if you have the chance to walk, I think walking for 30 minutes minimum or maybe 45 minutes will be a good idea for you. So walking is a good solution for that. So family, possession, work, spirituality, health, yeah. And finally, everybody now knows the value of the internet. Maybe before that coronavirus, many people didn't think about using the internet and having Facebook accounts and maybe communicating with their friends, communicating with their family. We used it to meet face to face, to strengthen our bond and the relations. But the technology now, yeah, and the apps are updating every day with more options to let us communicate easily with people. So I think it was also a plus. It was an advantage of this coronavirus, by the way. For me, also teaching online was my dream, by the way, because I started to teach online before. Yeah, I think in 2016, I started to give online sessions, as I said. But now I think to give a group online, I think it was one of my dreams because I really like it to work, remotely, or you can say to work, to meet people sometime and to work online sometime. But I prefer online more than being going to meet people. Actually, I like my students so much, wallahi. I like them so much, and I always consider my students to be my friends. I consider them friends, not students, not learners, by the way. But the only problem I have is that the journey, taking yourself from home to the centers and to another center to another center, it's a disaster. And now the traffic here is so bad. It's not easy to go from one place to the other, and it's lectures. I have to be on time. And if I take my car, it will be a bigger disaster. Sometimes when I used to go to the centers, I left my car beside or underneath my home and took the transportation because I hardly find a place to park my car. But now I think when I give online sessions, I think I can meet people, I can listen to them. I think it's more efficient. I think so. Maha says, I started to have fitness routine. Yes, we talked about that. And I'm being lazy after I started work. Yeah, okay. Actually, guys, that was all for today about, the bright side of the year 2020. And I was very, very happy having you, having Maha, Ayman, and Basmala. Okay. Ola, my wife. Thank you very much. All of you, my dear. Thank you. And I wish you all having a great year. But please, tomorrow, inshallah, we're gonna have, a live again. I will try harder to be with camera because I want you to see me and I wanna see you, all of you. We will talk about also the new year. We wanna talk about your main goals for new year, your main hopes for new year, okay? And are you flexible enough for the new year? Do you put some bad scenarios and the good scenarios in your mind about the new year? So we will keep talking about that tomorrow, inshallah. I will, post about the time of meeting, and of course, I need all of you to sharing me here. Thank you very much for you, and Happy New Year. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.